Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
So we're talking about other people projecting their fears on us and how to deny that. Because let's be honest, we have our own fears, right? We have doubts, we have insecurities that come up whenever we're pursuing something that is different out of what we're doing currently, or we have a goal that we've envisioned, that we dream of every single day, that we imagine every single day. We have that, but there's sometimes moments in our life, and it happens daily, that can cause us to prevent, that can cause thoughts that can prevent us from pursuing those dreams. And so now we have that. And on top of that, we have other people projecting their fears on us because they may have pursued a dream or a goal or an aspiration. And guess what? They failed at it. And they used fail once and give up forever. They quit forever because of that. That is not you. This is why you have me and Janelle as your life coaches. Because we want you to get out of that mindset. We want you to acknowledge, we want you to acknowledge that you have the power and control over what you think and what you do and how your reality reacts to that and what your reality becomes of. So with that said, I just want to dive in and again, bring the hearts in here. I love it. Welcome. I want all the hearts. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, this is a safe space. And if there's some bullshit in here, and I'm very blunt about it, I don't want it here. I don't want it. This is not what we do here. This is a safe space. We are life coaches, and this is for you because we are sharing our authentic selves, our authentic stories. We're being vulnerable with you. So we would love for you to be vulnerable with us as well. Again, if we see that, we will block those people instantly, just letting you know. Okay. So I want to just dive into what fear is. Fear. The definition of fear is like fear alerts us to the presence of danger or the threat of harm, whether that danger is physical or psychological. Now, sometimes this fear stems from real threats because it does happen, a car accident or just everyday things that can possibly happen, right? But it can also originate from imagined thoughts, imaginative dangers, things that we project that are going to happen, but actually never do. Probably about 80% of the time, and don't quote me on this, we imagine the worst possible thing ever that could possibly happen, and it actually doesn't. And the problem is we think it's going to happen, so we don't try because we really believe that it will happen. So it prevents us from executing that goal, that dream, or that step. Most fears are from our own negative self-talk that I will fail. Absolutely. And I'll get into that. So today we're going to talk about fear. We're going to when to share your dreams, not taking anything personally, and 3 ways to let go and trust your inner voice. And that's what they're talking about, that self-talk that goes on in our head. And again, we have our own self-talk. Imagine somebody else telling you you can't. It's impossible. And if you saw one of my posts this past week, impossible is only, if you think about it prospectively, it's impossible. It's all about perspective, people, all about perspective, right? And so some of the triggers that can affect our fear is like certain objects or situations like, spiders, snakes, roaches when you're in New York City. I don't like them, can't stand them, right? Maybe future events that we imagine is going to happen because it maybe happened in the past, so we think it's going to happen again. Imagine events that never actually happened at all, but we may think it's possibly going to happen, right? Real environmental dangers for sure, and then the unknown. And so let's see. But ignoring that is why I have this podcast, Instagram Now. I created this. Awesome. Well, thank you. Another podcast goer. We also have a podcast as well. And so here's the thing about fear. Fear is going to create thoughts and mind and a mindset that's going to make your body react to it. Your body believes everything that you're thinking. Everything. It does not know any different. So that event that may have happened before, or someone has said something to you and you think about it, your body's going to react like it's actually happening in that particular moment, even though it's not, because it's reacting to your mind. It's trying to keep you safe. It's reacting in that moment. Whatever emotion was happening in that moment or situation, your body's going to naturally react. So keep that in mind, right? We're going to go back to that in a little bit later. But so, it believes the mind's fears and thoughts. The body doesn't know any different than the mind. So if you believe in something that may cause harm or discomfort, the body will back it up and try to find ways to protect itself by reacting accordingly. So all that to say is that, you ever heard the saying, you are the master of reality? Well, you are also the master of your mind, right? So your mind is going to control your body as well. Granted, our bodies naturally change and our bodies actually naturally age, but that has nothing to do with this capability. Okay, so I want you to remember, when someone tells you something about their fear about an object or a goal or aspiration or an achievement, it's because they failed at it. I'm sorry, they did. Maybe it didn't turn out the way they wanted to, and they gave up. They gave up. So they're projecting that fear onto you because, yeah, maybe they want to save you. Yes, maybe there's people that out there that go, all right, I'm just telling you this because I want to save you from the mistakes that I made. Possible. You take what you want from that. On the flip side, people saying that to you is because they're reliving that situation of their failure. So they're projecting that onto you because they're disappointed with themselves, they're angry with themselves, they feel bad, they feel shameful, whatever associated emotion around that event or that goal or that achievement is coming up for them. Again, the body remembers. So you may have activated something within them about your goal for them. So if I'm telling someone, hi, Catherine, thank you for joining. So if I'm telling someone, oh my gosh, I had this amazing dream about being an actor, and I see myself on stage, performing for the audience and telling this amazing story, and someone goes, oh, that's great for you. And I've had that. And I'm saying this from real experience. Oh, that's nice. It's a hobby, right? It's not a real career. I mean, how can you really make it as an actor? Because it's the rarest thing possible. Wow. What a stab in the heart. What a stab in the heart that is, right? Because guess what? It may not have been an actor or being an actor for them, but there was a career or a moment in their life that they pursued something that didn't turn out. Or maybe they didn't. They thought about that dream. They said it to someone and someone else told them not to. Right? Also, some people don't want you to surpass them. Absolutely. Because they have the mindset of scarcity. They have the mindset that there's not enough space for all of us to succeed. So I just want to take a pause there. As I've said all this, any questions, any thoughts? Thank you for joining today. I love you all for joining today. Any thoughts that are ruminating, any ideas that are coming up with fear, something that someone told you that you truly believed. And there's no shame here, because I've had someone tell me that I wasn't capable, that my voice was horrible, that the way I grew up, I wasn't going to be successful. Did that hurt? And I feel so much love for the person that I was that had to go through those situations and develop a sense of truth and authenticity within myself to believe the opposite and do the opposite. So I want to pass this to Nell. Now, with all that I've said, as far as fear and just the thought about it and the reaction of the body, what are your thoughts on fear and the body? And is something that someone projected onto you about their fear that you possibly believed or didn't believe? Either way.
I love everything that you're saying. It's funny, I actually posted about this, I feel like a week and a half ago, specifically talking about when I said I wanted to be a model and actor. And I don't know what it is about me, but I think it's a stubbornness that I have, that when I have an idea, I don't want to be 90 years old and look back on my life and think, what if? That what if is scarier to me than people's fears projected onto me. And it doesn't mean it doesn't get to me. I'm going to speak to how, because actually I have more of a battle within myself than with other people. So I had people say, you know, when I wanted to be a model and an actor, and I was coming from a very small town and they didn't know anybody that was successful, I had people say, you should probably get a real job. You better have a backup plan. Life isn't a Cinderella story. And even when I was doing well and making 6 figures as a model and actor in New York City, I remember sitting down in the same small town and being like, yeah, I'm a model, right? Oh, you're starving though, right? You're starving. And I'm not making any of this up. This is factual. And I didn't want to tell her, but I was like, yeah, it's rough out here for me. Thanks. Because it doesn't matter. It's very intimidating to meet a person that says, I want to do something, that anything, and then follows through with it, because it takes a lot of courage to do that. And I don't know where it comes from within me. I'm so grateful. And the only way you build courage and move around fear is to actually do the thing. And that's what I want to encourage people today. There was a time where I was a host for the Travel Channel, and the joke was I was the fearless host, but I actually wasn't without fear. They had me eating bugs. They had me on these like tightrope things, jumping off of platforms. And the whole time before it, I was like, oh, and the whole shtick was that Janelle's the fearless person. But it was all about something's going to scare you, but you got to try it anyway, because that's what will give you the confidence. You're never going to get the confidence being like, well, I hope it works out, and not actually going through it, because that brings up your body. Your body has to go through it and experience that you made it out alive, right?
Yes.
And so I'll quickly speak to the body thing. I do a lot of EMDR therapy. I go to therapy. I'm not an EMDR therapist, but it is very, very powerful. And it speaks directly to what you've stored, the fear you've stored in your body.
Yes.
Because it's all about the story you tell yourself. Something can happen that seems like not a big deal, maybe to other people, but it was a big deal to you. And you never want that to happen again. You feel vulnerable or hurt your feelings or any of that. And so that forever is stored in your body. So you can intellectualize as much as you want. But for me, as a person that is extremely analytical, and I'm like, you're fine, Janelle, you're fine. It's all good. It's still, my chest will tighten up. My body will freeze up. And I'll be like, I just want to do it, but I can't. And it's all because you didn't heal it in your body. Your body is protecting you. And so, regards to other people projecting onto you, they haven't done it. Don't listen. And I know you have other points to make, but later on, I'll speak more too about how, or add to whatever you have to say about fighting against yourself. I feel like I'm more of a battle within myself than with other people projecting onto me. They've added to it, but it's really me against myself. And it's actually what's going on with you too. But we'll talk more about that later. Love all of you.
Nellie, that was so amazing. Thank you for sharing your story, because the truth of the matter is we are constantly battling ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. And the thing is, other people are fueling that. They are fueling the fire. So I just want to go back to the comments. We have a few things here. Nikki said, just because they failed or it didn't work out for them doesn't mean that it won't succeed in it for you. Yes, that is so true. That is the absolute truth. Just because it didn't work out for them doesn't mean it can't work out for you, because you have that vision. You know the outcome. You feel it in your heart, your deepest depths of your heart, that it is your dream and that is possible because it came up for you. It didn't come up for them. They don't know it. They don't feel the joy, because success looks different for everyone. They had this particular success, but maybe it wasn't their true success. They assumed it because they took somebody else's success and put it on them, and thinking, well, I didn't accomplish what they did. No, you accomplished what you want, right? So I love that. And I have a question here. So what are some tips for when the negative voice gets loud? Oh, that's a really good question. You have to find, and we'll talk about one of the 3 ways that I was going to talk about is practice mindfulness, which means breathing. Come up with affirmations that are going to contradict those negative thoughts. Do not suppress it. Like Nell said, we're not in the business of suppressing those unhealed wounds. We're not in the business of suppressing those thoughts, because when you do, like Nell said, they will store somewhere in your body. And you may not acknowledge it in that moment, but something will activate it or trigger it later on, and you will explode. And people are like, whoa, slow down. Why are you so angry? It's because you didn't heal from that particular moment, right? So you allowed it to overcome because you started, and then you're like, you know what? And you turn into the Hulk. That's what happens. And it's completely natural, but we don't want you to be like that. We want you to acknowledge it in the moment and allow it to be able to let go. Here's the thing about life. We go through the ebbs and flows. We're going to have ups and we're going to have lows, and we're going to have the places that we're in between that we feel stuck or in a gray space. It's natural, right? So just, practice mindfulness, work with a coach, go to therapy if that works for you as well. But you need a sense of outlet. You need to let it out. You can't allow it to stay stored in, because again, all you're doing is allowing the volcano to eventually build up and burst. And that can lead into addictions, that can lead into mental health, being declining, your body reacting to it and becoming sick. Your body again remembers. And so if your mind is in a sick place, and meaning that it's not healthy, then your body's going to naturally react to that, and you will end up becoming symptomatic to those mental sicknesses. And this is not a bad thing. I'm talking about just negative thoughts, talking about, and I say that sick wise because it can be healed. It can be treated in a way. And then again, we have fantastic, most people don't believe in things that they can't see. Absolutely. If you can't see it, why believe it? Because it's not tangible, right? But here's the beauty. Our mind can imagine the most fantastical things, and it can become your reality. It absolutely can, but you have to believe, and you also have to back it up with actions, right? And then it says, I have another one from Mary Tyler Moore. My friends seem supportive, but when I can't attend events, I can feel the resentment. Or is it in my head? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a beautiful one. Okay, here's the thing about that. Half of it is in your head, probably. About 90% of the time, it is in our heads. But here's the thing, that has nothing to do with you, right? Here's the thing is that if you're choosing not to go to an event because you don't feel comfortable or is not for you, or you have more important things to do, maybe healing, take care of yourself, go for a bath or eat or watch the show that you want to, that is your prerogative. That is absolutely your prerogative. What you have to do is understand that people will have opinions about you, whether you do something or you don't. They will. Whether you do something or you don't, they will have an opinion about you, but it's not your concern and it's not your reality. Let them think what they want. And trust me, if they're your real friends, they're not sending you resentment. They should understand. And if this is a situation that comes up constantly, talk to them. If they are your real friends, have that conversation with them. Let them know, hey, listen, just because I'm not going to a lot of events doesn't mean that I'm not caring for you. I'm not a friend. I sometimes just don't like to be around people. I prefer to be home. That is okay. That's who you are. That's not them. Embrace your truth. And a lot of the times, again, this it's false in your head because you're trying to play a role for other people, but you're forgetting yourself. So you feel like you're lacking in being a good friend or a good partner or a good teacher. These are the roles that we have in our lives. And again, we're so multifaceted people. We have relationships with everybody. You can't do it all. You can't do it all. It's impossible. But you have time to do the things that you want. Spend more time doing the things that you actually want to do and bring you joy than the things that don't. Okay. And before I go back into all the comments, and I'm loving the comments, thank you so much today. I'm loving all the love. I just want to get back into what my focus was, is remember your why. Remember why you executed that goal or that achievement. And Nell talks about that a lot, but I want to go deeper into finding where that joy is for you. Remember the joy and why you started. Remember the outcome that you want to achieve and what it's going to feel like and be for you. Remember that. Bring yourself back to that higher frequency versus the lower one of doubt and less desirable aspects of yourself or questions that make you feel less than. Remember those higher frequencies. You have to meet that higher frequency, which means the joy, the levels of happiness. Again, because happiness looks different for everybody. Define that for yourself. Find out what it means for you. Do not define your joy and happiness and your goals based on other people. Because again, you'll constantly keep seeking that and it will never feel a sense of fulfillment. You will never feel like you've accomplished anything because you're constantly comparing yourself to others, right? So also don't share your dreams with others. You need to know when not to share it. And I know we have an essence of you want to share with your friends and family to let them in on the journey that you're going. Like, I'm so excited. This is amazing. I have this amazing goal. Don't share with everybody. Just for that. And remember, again, because people will have these preconceived notions of success. So don't share with everybody. And if you do, totally fine. Share a portion of it. Share about 5% of it. Oh yeah, I think I want to be an actor. Oh, cool. Oh, tell me more about that. You know what? When it happens, I'll let you know. And you'll see it when it happens. Let them know a portion of it so they don't take that from you. They don't take your joy about executing that goal. Don't let them take that joy from you, right? So understand that, right? And then also, You get, again, remember the feeling that what you have about that vision, that goal. And then the part 2 is success is also individualized. It's your vision, not theirs. Remember that it's unique to you. You came on this earth and you were born and you made an agreement that you were going to come here and execute and be exactly who you were meant to be. Someone who is great. Everybody has the ability to be great. Your greatness is unique to you. Your talents, your skills, your weaknesses eventually are going to be strength. Your less desirable aspects of yourself that you don't like are beautiful. They are you. Your imperfection makes you perfectly who you are. And again, going back to don't take it personal. Don't take it personal what people may have or preconceived notions about your dreams or goals, because they are living their own journey and they may have a mindset of, oh, I don't want her to succeed because then that's not enough space for me. That mindset scarcity. Or, you know what? They can't do it because they're lazy. They don't know the work you're putting in. They're not there every day with you. They're not there. They're not in the room or in the bathroom or wherever you are thinking about those goals and those dreams and like, I'm going to do this, that. They don't know the sweat and tears that you put into that goal or dreams. So do not share it with them, because that is your unique thing. That is your unique goal. And again, the 3 ways I would say is choosing to walk away from the conversation. Know when to walk away from the conversation. And it doesn't mean to be rude or disrespectful, but choose to walk away. I mean, you know what? Okay. There's no use in explaining myself to you because you're never going to get it, because it's not for you. Totally fine. Go, okay, and walk away. Because let them have what they think. Let them have their own opinions. It has nothing to do with you. Their opinions don't need to be your reality. The second one is, and I talked about this before, practice mindfulness, stress management techniques. I have a course about stress management and some 5 essential sources and tools. Use that. It's not just about daily things that come up that you missed a train and you got stressed and it affected your life. This is about self-doubt. This is about self-reflection. It's about acknowledging and really giving strength to your inner voice. Okay, and showing yourself that you are capable, even with your past experiences. Remember those past experiences that you did execute that. Listen, you got on a bike, you learned how to ride a bicycle. That is successful. That is beautiful. Remember the successes throughout your life and acknowledge that, because that shows you the fact to support that it's possible. That is the fact supporting that it's possible. Another one is practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for the fear. The fear is there for a reason to keep you safe. Say thank you and have a conversation with it. This is, again, we're not in the game or the business of denying it and suppressing it. Acknowledge the fear. Go, wow, I'm really scared about this particular moment or doing this goal. I don't even know how to talk about it, but you feel it. Acknowledge where it's at and breathe in it and let it out. Have a conversation with it. Thank you so much for showing up for me. I really appreciate it. You are trying to keep me safe. I understand that, but I'm going to do this anyway. And I want you to take a journey with me, but you're not going to take the front seat. You're not the driver of this journey. You're not the pilot. I am. I'm walking this journey and you're just following behind, but you're not in charge. You will always be there, but you will never have the strength over me. Think of it that way. Think of it someone joining in a journey, but never controlling it. And again, and then just visualize. I know we're rushing low on time, but I want you to visualize your success. Go back to that, and then get help from professionals like myself and Janelle. It's okay to admit that. Me and Janelle, we have our accountability partners. We have people that we talk to. We have therapists and life coaches ourselves, because the truth of the matter is life comes up. Our minds are constantly running, but we are the masters of our mind. So now I just want to jump back to you. And I know we have some comments that are here. I just want to read them. I'm so proud of you for getting out of the Greensburg. I guess this is for you, Janelle. I'm so proud of you for getting out of Greensburg and following your dream. I've been rooting for you. I love you, girl. Nikki, thank you for that. We have the Fantastics. The amount of energy and drive it takes to go through with your dreams comes from a superhuman place. It doesn't come from a superhuman place. It comes from the belief and the undeniable belief that you're possible. That it is possible. It's the belief within you, the higher power, that it gave you that gift. It gave you that goal. I didn't get to say hi to everyone. Marissa joined, Jennifer joined. Thank you so much. Andrew, we have a punching bag that needs some love. Hulk smash. Sometimes physicalizing frustration, or fears, and beating them out safely can help access the feelings and feeling them out safely. Absolutely. I've screamed in a pillow. I've jumped on my bed. I've kicked the air. Goodness, have I kicked the air so many times. Do that. Never do it on other people, but do it in a safe space. Don't, again, put your anger and frustration on other people, because it's not fair. They're not the cause of it. We have other comments. Our movement, sweating, can help me shed others' projected fears. Absolutely. Move the body, get it out. Again, if you don't, it suppresses and causes ailments in our body. Our mental health deteriorates. And I'm trying to get all to all, and I want to do. Being an entrepreneur is hard, and I feel my friends don't get it. I don't even know how to talk about it. My fear of rejection is so high. I don't care about strangers, but my friends are like my family. That's beautiful. Now, I want to pass that to you, because I know you can talk to this. So I'm going to take this over.
Yes, love everything that you're saying, and I agree wholeheartedly. And I've definitely dealt with that. I think it was Mary that said that. I was trying to keep up with the comments, but unfortunately I can't scroll on my end. You will learn who you can share with. I think it is okay to share your dreams, but like Amanda was pointing out, I don't know, Amanda and for me, I've always met people. I'm like, tell me about yourself. What do you want to do? You can do it. But that's just who I am as a person. And we're all shaped differently by the way that we grow up and various things. And not everybody's going to be able to do that for you. So I would say there have been many times where I'll ask people about themselves, and then I'll share about myself, and they won't ask any questions, or they won't want to know more. Or maybe they make a weird comment like we were saying at the beginning of the live. And then I learn in that moment, okay, this person doesn't have the space for me. And people aren't going to understand your jobs. I've had really weird jobs. I'm a production fit model, which is a very odd job. I stand all day, and there's a lot more to it. And many people don't understand. And they're like, well, that sounds easy. And I'm like, I can't even explain this, because it's not, like assuming anybody's job is easy is not helpful. So you want to surround yourself with people that are inquisitive. So I've had to change my friend groups. I've had to over time. And as you grow, you probably will start changing the people around you. I've had many different sets of friend groups. And I want to speak to the fear about that, because I've had a positive experience recently. When I was younger, I was very sick, and it caused me to lose a lot of friends. And that was very painful for me, very traumatic. It's something I've had to work through EMDR therapy, actually, as I was saying. And if you're interested in EMDR, look up the organization Healing Tree. Marissa Gavami was just on here, and she has an organization that helps you find therapists that are very specific to your needs, and you can learn all about it. And they research these therapists to make sure that they've studied this, because it's a very specific type of therapy, very powerful, that heals your mind and body and soul together, because that's the way that you actually heal and work through the trauma, as we said. And so as a child, I had these friends, and they all left because I was very ill, and they didn't come back. And obviously they weren't meant to be my friends. But as an adult, it was hard for me to make friendships again, because I feared that. But as artists, we are collaborators. As humans, we are collaborators. We're meant to have connections. And I had a friendship, and then once again, we split because there was something that wasn't lining up. But we went our separate ways, and we did our healing, and we came back together. And so it was healing in many ways, because we had our things to work on, but it also showed me friendships can come back together. And so I just encourage you, pay attention to yourself and what you see for your life, and know that you're valid. I'm learning now that I just have to validate a lot of my own experience, because people aren't going to understand. Why would they? And if they don't want to, there's no point in wasting the energy and sharing it with them. And so your experience is valid, and you can validate yourself. And something I've been really learning through doing breath work and more body-based therapy and healing stuff that way, it shows you that you have to work on the vertical relationship, or you can't let the horizontal in. So you have to be very sure of yourself, but it's not your fault. And that's something that's really important. Oh, I guess we have comments coming in. Hold on a second. Yes, there's that quote, where you are is who you are. That's always stuck with me, because we do have the choice to change where we are, like places, friendships, circles, colleagues. It's true. And it's very scary. So the last point I'll make, because I see that we're going over here, and we love your comments. And this is such a wonderful live. And thank you for joining us and being vulnerable. And this is the space for you. Thank you for the hearts. We love having you here. Don't be hard on yourself because this is something that I always did. Why can't I just make new friend groups? Why am I always at battle with myself? Why do I care about those fears that people are projecting on me and I'm getting stuck? Like, I analyze, well, I know I should just love myself. I know I just shouldn't take it personally. I know. But when you're up here, until your body is healed from that, you cannot energetically move forward. It's not your fault. It's stuck in your body. And that's why you can't break free. Because for me, for a long time, people said, don't take it personally. It really annoyed me. Is that like, that doesn't go deep. What do you mean don't take it personally? They're attacking me. My friends aren't supporting what I'm doing. These people are projecting their fears on me. It's a direct attack. But once you start healing yourself and you're able to come up for air, you can realize that it's about them. It's not about you. Yes. Yeah, have a conversation with them. Write a letter to them. Letters are so helpful. I actually have a pen pal that write letters to, and it's Amanda and I did a whole other podcast about that, and maybe we'll have to pin it in here or put it in the bottom when we do the replay. Amanda, you talked about how really working through your thoughts before you have the conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
It's all with love, like. It's just natural. We say there's this ebb and flow. And, you know, Amanda knows, and this is very true for me. I'm always afraid of but Amanda, I built this house of cards. I've built these friendships. I've built this career. And I'm afraid that if I actually love myself, it's all going to come crashing down. And it's horrifying. And it's scary. And so I want to encourage you guys that it is scary, but just loving yourself and knowing, we talked about the dream within you. It's there for a reason, and it is meant to be yours. And I don't care what everybody else fears. If you have that dream, it's there for a reason. Do not listen to anybody else. Positive feedback, people that are trying to help. But if people are coming in there and telling you, no, you can't do that, do not listen to them. You have a dream for you, not for them. And they have a different dream. So I would really encourage, because I know we have to get off of here, finding the breath work, the body-based therapy, the things that will heal in your body, because I've noticed like things that would bother me in the past that would literally clench up my chest and I couldn't move, and then it would get me in my head. Now that I've been working through it physically, I feel it, but then I'm kind of like, oh, I see you. And I can just be like, I can move on. But it's not your fault that you can't move on until you do the work, because it's literally it's like physically impossible. Is your body's like, I need to heal. I can't function. So, but we could do a whole different thing all about that. All right. So that's what I have to say.
Yes. No, thank you, Nell, for all of that information, because it's the truth, you know, and I can relate to Nell as well with, you know, I've had past relationships that I unfortunately had to let go because we outgrew each other. We needed to do separate healing, and it hurt. And there was a lot of things that I was doing in my own actions that were damaging for me. They were doing myself a disservice because they were unhealed emotions and wounds that I haven't acknowledged. So I was inflicting that on other people. And I never took responsibility for that, because no one can heal you but yourself. And it's the hardest thing to acknowledge and admit. And we talked about self-love in a past episode, because I'm all about self-authenticity. And within that self-authenticity comes acknowledging the self, the unhealed emotions, self-acceptance, self-love, self-identity, the self. And oh, that was loud, my alert. It scared me. It was like, whoa, that was quite loud. That is all about the self. And until you understand yourself, the things that you seek will not come to you, because you're denying your gifts, you're denying your strength, you're denying your truth. That is the beauty of who you are, but it takes time, and give yourself time and patience. Be kind to yourself. Your experience matters. I don't care what anyone else says. Oh, your experience is not as harsh as mine. Fuck you. I'm sorry. It matters to me because it happened to me, and it's not meant for you to understand. It is my unique story. I've had people tell me, and it hurt me, and even thinking about it, that my experience was bullshit, that it didn't happen. I was gaslighted many times by a narcissist who was very close to me and told me that my feelings were invalid, that they didn't matter. Why? Because you couldn't understand it. It's not meant for you to understand. I experienced something totally different than you did. So I want you to take back your power by really healing those emotions. And again, it's going to be one of the toughest things you do in your life. It's going to be very tough because you have to acknowledge every pain, staking wound and feeling and emotion, and your body's going to naturally react. But be kind to that journey, because when you get through to the other side, it is the most liberating and powerful experience that you can ever have. And because you had that experience, you can also help others do the same. But you need to do it first. It's just like going down in a plane and they tell you, put your mask on first. You have to put your mask on first. You have to allow the space to do that and understand that, you know what, not everybody's meant for you in that particular journey, because they're not meant to go down with you in that journey, and that's okay. You could have a conversation with them, write a letter, do a text, and have an honest conversation. If they don't understand, that's okay. Go, you know what? You may never get it, and that's fine, because I know I matter. I don't need you to validate myself, and I. And I would love to dive in deeper with Mary. Like, I would love to, because that is one of my core things that I work with, because I've struggled with that for so long. I didn't know what my inner voice was for a very, very long time. And I let people walk all over me. And I also molded myself into something that wasn't true. I became what I thought I wanted people to love. And in that, I lost love for myself. So I absolutely know what that feels like, and the doubt and insecurities that come up, and you wanting to please everybody because you want to be loved and you want to be seen. But it all starts with you. You got to give the love and self-acceptance that you want from other people from you. You have to do that. And it's the hardest thing. So just, again, be kind with the journey. Work with someone, whether it's a therapist, and always have someone like a life coach who's you got everything you need within you. You just have to let it grow. The seeds are there. Now you just have to nurture it. You have to water it. You have to tend to the dirt, tend to the nutrients, tend to all of this matters. Don't let anybody tell you that any different. Do I live on how to apologize, especially when I can't explain what you were going through? Don't apologize for yourself. Don't apologize. I don't ever want you to apologize. And I'll let you guys go, because I know we're really, really over a time. I will say this: try for a week not explaining yourself. Try for a week not explaining yourself. For a week, go, okay, and I've had my friend do this recently. Try not explaining yourself. You don't have to justify anything. So try it. And if you want the urge, come up with a mantra, come up with an affirmation that will remind you, don't explain yourself. You matter. That's it. They may not get it. Whatever it is that you need to say to yourself, just try not to explain for a week.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.